Hello everybody, Chris here from All Leeds TV, reflecting on yesterday's events at Ellen Road. Firstly, you'll have to excuse me, I'm obviously dedicated to the cause because I'm just back from the dentist and I can't feel anything at all here. I am properly numb. So you'll have to excuse me if I dribble or I'm slurring my words a little bit, but I wanted to record this. Firstly, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I'm putting this out now basically because there's the post-match fans debate at 6 p.m. with myself and Oscar, hopefully. I don't know if anyone else is joining. And then Leeds United Last is at 8:30 tonight. So make sure you tune in for them. Loads of content this week, obviously due to it being a double match week, which is great. So yeah, last night, I'm still absolutely exhausted. It felt like we kicked every ball with the team last night. It was strange that the crowd went from periods of being up and loud and very Ellen Roady to you could feel the nerves creeping, like last 10-15 of the first half, stuff like that. But overall, the atmosphere was tremendous, and the roof came off in added time, obviously with the VAR decision and the penalty. I think overall last night, I think we shaded it. I mean, Palace fans will probably think differently, and maybe rightly. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, with the Benteke chance in the second half, which he should score. That's 2 games in a row now where we've been let off because of bad finishing. But we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. But I think overall we just about deserved the win. So it makes the Brighton game a good point, as bad as the performance was. But it makes that a good point now with that win, and hopefully we can go on Sunday against Brentford and make it 7 points out of 9, which is a really good return running into a group of 4 games which are horrendous to look at, but you never know what comes of them, right? So what I want to do first is I'm going to talk through each player actually, because I think each player last night deserves some recognition in one way or another, and I'll probably leave it there. And then, like I say, tonight at 6 with Oscar, we'll probably just discuss the game a bit more in general, obviously getting your guys and girls' opinions as well if you join in. So let's start obviously with Illan Meslier in net. How many times has this boy saved us this season? He had quite a quiet night, which is a good thing. But that shot that I think it was Benteke managed to get his foot to, ahead of Liam Cooper, and Mellier's going the wrong way and has to spin and almost crawl back to the line to grab the ball. Honestly, it was tough to watch for that couple of seconds, but he did superbly. His distribution was okay, pretty good. Conditions didn't help last night, when we try and pop it out to the wings, but overall, he did a pretty good job. And as usual, mega goalkeeper. I'll start at the left-hand side. So first half with Pascal Struijk. Had a bit of a tough time at times against IU, but overall did pretty well. And going forward, actually, linking up with Dan James, underlaps, etc., he looked really, really assured. So it's a pity he's aggravated that injury in that challenge with IU. I think he's caused it himself, if I'm honest, sort of trying to kick and get the ball while he's there on the ground. So hopefully it's not too bad for Pascal. And he's available for Sunday because he looked pretty good. Liam Cooper next to him. Really good game from Coops. I'm sure, again, immediately that'll divide opinion. But I thought Coops was really strong last night. Stood up to the test really well. Players like Edouard and Benteke are going to test centre-backs. especially ones that aren't the tallest and strongest, you know what I mean? But I thought Cooper overall did a really good job on them. Assured at the back, wasn't rushing passes like we've seen him potentially do recently. Looked very calm and collected. And the same can be said for Llorente next to him. Far better than the other night where he was just trying horrible passes constantly. Far more assured, picking the right pass more often than not. Again, with all these, a lot of these players, there's still room for improvement. We're still not back to our swashbuckling best, but yeah, it was an improvement last night, and that I include Llorente in that. What I will say about Llorente is it was good to see when the handball happened for the penalty, Llorente gets straight in the referee's face, and more players followed because he did that. It was a handball, but you know what we're like. We tend to, under Bielsa, we're a bit of a nice team, and we just let decisions ride. And sometimes you've got to make the referee think and make the VAR have a good look at something. I mean, it was a stonewall penalty, but it was good to see Llorente with that. I mean, he looked like he completely lost his head for a second, but I love to see that. So yeah, really, really pleased with Diego and Coops at centre back last night. Stuart Dallas at right back. What a performance up against Wilf Zaha. Didn't give him anything all night. He was absolutely incredible for me defensively, and then was linking up with Rafa down the right hand side, overlapping. Really good game from Stuart Dallas last night, and actually my man of the match. I don't know how much, because I did watch it back last night when I got in because I couldn't sleep. I was knackered, but wide awake from the adrenaline. And I think he looked better watching him first hand than on the telly, which can happen, and it can be vice versa. But mega game from Stuart Dallas. So good to see him back to something nearing his best. Zaha had a torrid night against him. Dallas just gave him absolutely nothing. And Wilf Zaha is a very, very good footballer. So yeah, Stewie gets my man of the match. Just pip in a couple of others. So in front of the defence, Calvin. Okay, let's start with Calvin post-match and his interview. Good to see him come out and put any rumours to bed of a rift with Bielsa. Whether there's been a disagreement or not, disagreements happen all the time. That's very different to there being a falling out and, them not speaking to each other and not agreeing on things, and, potentially Calvin being parked on the bench for a bit and stuff like that. He came out and off his own back sort of said, I respect the manager too much to fall out with him. I'll play wherever he wants me to. So kudos to Calvin for that. That was good to hear. And game wise, much more like the Calvin Phillips we're used to seeing. He went in for a tackle in the first 5 minutes. I think it might have been on Conor Gallagher. An absolute took man ball and the whole shebang, and it instantly fired the crowd up. And it looked like it fired Calvin up. He looked bang up for it last night. Seeing him, nip in front of players as a way to collect the ball, like last night, he nipped in front of someone, took a player on, then had a shot which went a bit wayward. But it was good to see Calvin pressing like that, so high up the pitch. And the whole team did it, certainly for the first 10, 15 minutes. The press was so intense. We were so high up the pitch. Palace could not get out, and it lulled a bit for the rest of the first half. I think nerves kicked in a little bit, but we recovered it second half. So great performance from Calvin. Adam Forshaw, again, what a quality footballer. We have missed him. And I don't think we realised we missed him because we were going so well without him. But what a tidy footballer. Now he just needs some shooting practice now, does Adam. One went pretty close. One, I think, hit someone in Rose Head of the Cop. But his overall game is just exceptional. Creating angles, just tidy, dictates the tempo of the game, knows when to slow it down, knows when to speed it up and pick a quick pass. He was just exceptional to watch last night. What a footballer Adam Forshaw is. I think we'd all forgotten it because he'd been out for so long, but absolutely superb. He's come back from 2 years out and looks fully at home in the Premier League. So let's go Mateusz Klich next. He's just quiet, just a quiet performance. I can't really say much about Klich. It was just really quiet. A few nice touches here and there, but then a few wayward touches as well. A couple of wayward passes from what I remember. So yeah, not the best, but I'm not going to dig him out about it. It was just a quiet performance for me. Out wide, Dan James. For those saying James is a waste of money, I understand it because his final ball still again a couple of times last night was a little bit off, but then he played a great square ball in for Rodrigo, who should score in the second half. But his pressing and his work rate is relentless. He scared their keeper and their backline last night with his press. They were panicked on more than one occasion with just the speed of his press. And Tyler backed him up really well in that as well, I've got to say. So, yeah, overall, a really good game from Dan James. I thought he was very, very good last night. Like I say, that final ball still needs working on. He might be getting a bit overexcited at times now, wanting to score when there might be an easy, a square ball on or something, but that'll all come with more time. That'll all come, but there's enough signs there that we've got a great player there, and he's such a Bielsa player with his work rate. Such a Bielsa player. So, good, great match from Dan James. RAPHINHA. Now, this is a strange one because in the ground last night, and when we came out of the ground, I said to Jack, I didn't think he had a great game. I thought certainly first half he looked slightly off it. His touch was a bit wayward from what I remember. It's weird how watching it on the telly and watching it in the ground, it can give you two different perceptions. So I sort of said, up until the penalty, I'm not sure he was that good. And then watching it back, second half, unreal. Some of the crossfield balls he's hitting, some little silky skills down on the right hand side near the touchline. And I think, he was given Ali McCoy's man of the match, which I don't agree with. I think there was better players out there. Dallas and Forshaw for me outshone RAPHINHA last night. But yeah, actually, second half, he was superb. And then Tyler up front. And we were talking in Billy's before the game, me, Jack, and Tash, and a few of us, Phil and Co, Rhiannon, and Ellie was there as well, Phil's other half. So there's quite a few of us. I was discussing Tyler, and we were like, this is an opportunity now for Tyler to not stake a claim, but to maybe chill the fans out a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And I cannot run him down on his work rate and his endeavour last night. And also some of the stuff he did with the ball as well. I'm not saying he was all running and no product at all. He was trying to link up play, etc. Potentially should do a bit better with a superb ball in from Dallas in the first half, smashed across the face of goal. And I think maybe Patrick Bamford reacts to that a bit quicker. But that's not me digging Tyler out. I think that's just the difference in them two as players. Still need to see a bit more from him, but I can't dig him out last night. I thought his performance was very good. And we want to see more of that from Tyler, right? So fingers crossed this is a bit of a confidence boost for him. I don't think, by the sounds of it, Bamford will be ready for Brentford. So give him another go. And a lot of people will be screaming Joffrey, and I was screaming Joffrey as well. And at 65, 70 minutes, I was like, get Geldhart on to go at this defence, because they were petrified, that defence, of the press and people turning and facing them up. And we know Joffrey likes to do that. But Bielsa obviously knew there was a goal coming and Charlie Creswell had been needed. So, yeah, all in all, bitty performance at times. I think there was a slight bit of nerves there, and it could be felt amongst the fans as well. But overall, we edged it. A vast improvement on Brighton. I think that goes without saying. So yeah, overall, really pleased. I just honestly come out of the ground last night and it was absolutely wiped out. It did feel like we kicked every ball in them last night. I thought the penalty is funny watching Rafa's penalty. I can remember it vividly in the ground. Rhiannon stood next to me with a hat pulled over her eyes. Jack said he turned his back to it and didn't watch it. And all I remember is watch, because I was in the wedge, so he's at the other end of the ground. I remember him doing like those little tiny steps to start his run up, and then I remember seeing him do like the hop, skip, and jump, and there was a collective intake of breath in the ground where everyone went, and it was an eerie silence for that split second, and then obviously you see the keeper go the right way, but watching the penalty back, it's a great penalty because what he does with that hop, skip, and jump is he makes the keeper take an extra step, which then plants him. And then Rafa just parks it. And by the time the keeper's got down, even though he's gone the right way, the ball's past him. And Ellen Road just erupted. It was crazy in there. And then Palace came back at us for that last minute a little bit. Someone, I can't remember who it was, whipped a great ball in from a free kick. And Calvin cleared it away with great clearance. And that was all done, all dusted. Just really pleased. I think it's a relief. I think we can go into Brentford now on Sunday with more confidence. Won't be an easy game, but light Ellen Road up like we did last night, fan-wise. Players should come out firing. They shouldn't be buzzing after last night. I'm sure they are. And let's get 3 points against Brentford, and then all of a sudden that table's looking a bit nicer before we go into the nightmare 4. I don't think we'll come out of that nightmare 4 with 0 points, I've got to say. I think we might pick up 1 or 2, but I think a couple of games at least are going to be quite a hard watch for us as Leeds fans. But if we can get 3 points against Brentford, then it makes it a bit easy with that room in the table. Obviously, Norwich and Newcastle drawing last night. We've cut them adrift a little bit already, to be honest with you. Burnley have got a couple of games in hand yet, so they've got to win both to get level on points with us. So there's a little bit of breathing room there, but we need to carry this on now. What we can't see is another false dawn. So yes, that's it. Tables have turned. We're on the climb now. We've got to back this up now with a win against Brentford. Obviously, return of Pontus. I won't say anything about Thomas Frank. I don't like him. I think he's in it. He irritates the life out of me. But yeah, return of Pontus. So we've just got to get our heads down, push on. If we perform like we did against Palace last night, then we've got more than enough to beat Brentford. Palace are a good team. They were so well organised. Big, strong team as well. Conor Gallagher was largely ineffective, which is big praise on Adam Forshaw and Calvin for the job they did. He had very little. Like I said, Wilf Zaha didn't get anything out of Dallas. And Benteke's got 50p head, which meant the goal he should have scored, he put wide. I thought it was in from the angle I was stood at. I was like, oh, and then realised it had gone wide. So yeah, really pleased for the boys. Oh, I haven't covered the subs, have I? Firpo came on, got a yellow card within 2 minutes, and I was like, here we go. And last night when I left the ground, I was like, oh, he's just not very good. But again, watching it back, he grew into the second half, and he was better attacking than he was defending last night in that second half for like the last half an hour. But there's little signs there. So if I'm saying we need to still give time to Dan James, and I suppose we do for Firpo as well. It's not the easiest start to life at Leeds. So I'd still prefer Pascal in there for now, so hopefully he's fit. But there was little signs there from Firpo last night. Rodrigo did okay in the second half when he came on. Linking play up, getting around the pitch. Still, again, should score from that square ball from Dan James. It looks like he's trying to take it round him on his right foot to knock it in with his left, but the ball's coming through with such pace from James, which it had to. He should just rifle it or lift it over the keeper with his try and lift it over the keeper with his left foot, but it's all right. He stood in the stands saying that, and it's a split-second decision. And then obviously Charlie Creswell came on for like 2 minutes at the end, but actually got stuck straight in, big and strong, wrestling the ball off people. You see him when he runs on, like stood next to Coots or whatever. You're like, nah, he's a big lad. Bright future for that kid. So yeah, I'll leave it there because, like I said, we'll probably discuss the game itself in more detail tonight. Again, make sure you tune in for that about 6 p.m. Leeds United Lasses, Tash and Rhiannon at 8:30. And then watch out for your usual pre-match build-up to Brentford on Sunday. So keep it locked to All Leeds TV. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know your comments below. Again, I'd be interested to see people's different perceptions from being in the ground to watch it on the telly. Am I talking a load of nonsense, or do you largely agree with what I've said? Happy to hear both. I'm going to go now and wait for my face to unnumb because it feels horrible, and then I can have something to eat because at the minute I think I've just spit it everywhere. So have a good rest of the day, everyone. See you all tonight, hopefully, on All Leeds TV for a chat about the game, and I will let you go. Thanks, everyone.